Hi, this is Craig. Welcome to another episode of It's Sexy When Men Cook. I'm here with Madison, the maiden of the giggles. I'm not really sure what happened to set this off, but we might be giggling a bit while today we make some cedar plank salmon. Fun with that. So I don't know if you've ever cooked with cedar planks before. It literally all it is, this one's been soaked, but it's just a cedar plank. You buy these at the store. This is done by Fire and Flavor. Typically the way you want to set these up is that they come in a little package of 2. You can get more or less, just depends on the brand. But these are real simple to cook with. You can do pretty much any shish kebab, salmon, vegetables. It's just a way to add some additional flavor to your cuisine. So today we're going to do cedar plank salmon. We've soaked the board for a little more than an hour. Typically you want to soak these for at least an hour. More is better, because what's going to happen is this is going to go into either a hot oven or on a grill or in a smoker, and you want that wood to really kind of crack up and start to smoke, and that's where that flavor is going to come as it starts to smoke up off of this plank. So these have already been treated, so we're just going to kind of cut to the chase a little bit, but there's instructions on the packages. It's really simple to use. So you don't have to, it's not rocket science here. It's just basically a good cedar plank soaked in water. You put your food on it, cook it, you're good to go. So my daughter and her brother, Connor, I have a good buddy of mine. We went up and did some fishing up at Kenai Peninsula up in Alaska this last year, and it was a blast. They brought back a whole bunch of salmon. In fact, some of the salmon we're going to be cooking today, these are just some small fillets. I've already skinned them. They've been boned. They're ready to go. They brought those back, and I think we're going to probably have a picture of the fishing trip up there. But they brought back some salmon, some halibut, and I got to tell you, there's just really no difference. I mean, the quality is so much better wild caught than it is store-bought. I hate to say that, but it's just true. Did I say? Oh, well, I stand corrected. There's a big difference. Just the flavor is so much better. So, anyway, and the fun thing is this has not been colored or dyed or anything. This is wild-caught salmon. So we've been treated, and all we're going to do now is, Madison, why don't you go ahead and start putting together our marinade. This is a very simple marinade for salmon. You could use it for any fish, really. But we're using tamari sauce, which is a low-sodium type soy sauce. Doesn't have the salinity in it that normal soy sauce has. We've also got some sesame oil. We've also got some rice vinegar, which is very important. That acidity is really important. She's doing some chopped white onions. These are just good old-fashioned onions, chopped, minced. We've got some, this is ginger. Is this the ginger root? Yeah, so this is just the fresh ginger root. We just used a microplane and got a ginger root and planed that out. I think there's a picture of that on here too. Real simple to use, and ginger's just got such a great smell to it. It just adds so much flavor to a lot of dishes. We're using it today in this. So we got some minced garlic. We've got some chives, some chopped chives. This is fresh dill, fresh tarragon, and a little garlic salt. And she's just going to whisk that up. Lemon's just a great foil for fish and most seafood. It's also really good to clean your hands with. If you ever get a little oil on your hands or you feel a little greasy, yeah, just drip a little of that on your hand, a little lemon juice, and just rub that around. And not only do your hands smell bright and fresh and springy, it cleans them really well. So, unless you have a cut, and then you scream because you got a little lemon juice in the cut, which is obviously a bad thing. So go ahead and whisk that together. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add our salmon to the marinade, just enough to cover them up. We're not trying to, and typically you're going to marinate this for about 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be a terribly long amount of time. And you're just going to marinate those. Let them soak up some of that yummy flavor. And you set that aside, set in the refrigerator, whatever you want. So that's marinating. And we've already made a dill sauce. This is just a homemade dill sauce. It's really, again, very simple. It's about 1/3 of a cup of mayonnaise, 1/3 of a cup of sour cream, the fresh dill, fresh tarragon, the garlic, and then we use capers. We put a little caper in this, and some horseradish to make this a really nice kind of a tangy, bright dill sauce, and we'll put that on as a garnish with the fish later. Okay, so now we do have, I'm going to reach out of frame here for a second, but we actually do have already done a couple of small marinated salmon fillets. Now I've done these small just because typically when you're eating, I mean, you can cut your salmon bigger. I just did these small because it was just simple for the case of we're just trying to show you how to cook this more than we are trying to show you these massive, huge portions. But you can add any kind of a side with this as you want. And really all you're doing is you're just going to slide these fillets right on the cedar. And that's pretty much it. So it's already been treated, it's already been soaked, it's been smoked, it's ready to go. You're going to pop this on the grill. You can actually pop the plank by itself on the grill, or if you want to use your oven, you can put it into your oven on about 400 degrees for about, say, 18 to 20 minutes. And that's all it takes. Grill, same thing. Medium heat on your grill. If you're using a smoker, just follow the instructions on smoking salmon in your Traeger or your smoker, however you're, whether it's a pellet or wood-driven smoker. And that's it. So marinate, 15, 20 minutes. Takes you, say, an hour to get the plank ready, and you're good to go. So one of the things that's kind of fun with different vegetables and different side dishes is you can play with them a little bit. You can kind of reimagine, reinvent, whatever. I don't know who showed me how to do this, but I thought it was a pretty clever idea. So we just got another cookie sheet, and notice I've lined it with aluminum foil. And I've drizzled a little bit of avocado oil in here. Again, olive oil, safflower oil, it doesn't matter. Just any kind of a light oil is what you want. And then what you'll do is run down to your store and get you a bag of Brussels sprouts. These are actually pretty good looking Brussels sprouts. They're pretty full, pretty healthy. And you notice I've got a couple here cut. And all we're going to do is I cut these in advance. All we're going to do is take some of these really pretty Brussels sprouts, and we're going to lay them here on this tray. And I just cut these, and you can actually, one of the things that's kind of fun, you can actually use a food processor if you want. Use the slice attachment on a food processor and it'll slice these up for you. You can use the shredding, and I'm just going to throw some shredded on here as well because we're going to use this as a garnish for the salmon. And we're just going to kind of spread this all over the plate. And again, we're going to set the oven for about 400 degrees. About 450, excuse me, about 450. And these won't take very long to cook, about maybe 8 to 10 minutes. You do want to get a little browning on them, just a little bit for the sake of for flavor. A little char doesn't hurt. Hand me that Hawaiian sea salt. Now, my family and I, we go to Hawaii quite a bit every year. And in fact, I was just talking to our filmographer, Alex, the amazing. And we're going to be doing a series of shoots in Hawaii. So it's going to be at Sexy When Men Cook in Hawaii. So that should be fun. We've already got several shows hooked up. So this is just basically, I love this. This is the most intense way to make salt. Sun evaporated from seawater. Hawaiian salt, packaged in Honolulu, Hawaii. So this is actual Hawaiian sea salt. And we're just going to do that, really. That's about all we're going to do. Throw a little salt on there. It's a little coarse. It's a coarser salt. And then what we'll do is we'll cook these for about 10 minutes, get a good char on them, and then we're going to offset this with a little bit of a balsamic vinegar. And that'll be kind of fun for a flavor adage. That'll be nice to add some additional flavor to this meal. So, all right, let's go ahead and pop these in the oven, and we'll be back and assemble this beautiful salmon with homemade dill sauce and Brussels sprouts. So, this has gone in the oven for about 18 to 20 minutes on the salmon. And you can see the plank's kind of bowed and gotten a little discolored. And that's exactly what you want to have happen, is it's going to smoke and get discolored. And you can actually reuse these, so you don't have to just throw it away afterwards. You can wash them a little bit and save them for another time. Typically get a couple uses out of them and then they're done. It's really up to you. They're not that terribly expensive. You could use a new one every time. We're just going to hit that with a little bit of lemon, and a little bit of lemon on that. And then we'll go ahead and plate this, and we'll be good to go. So let me go grab us a nice plate, and we'll put together a nice meal for you. Okay, well, we've got that all taken care of, and we now have this beautiful grilled, marinated cedar plank salmon with our Brussels sprouts with a nice balsamic reduction. And man, I'll tell you what, that is so good. It smells so good. Got our house-made dill sauce. It just doesn't get any better than that. So until next time, it's always sexy when men cook. Have a good day. Bye.